in your desire to understand each other and in your desire to communicate with each other, you've discovered just through trial and error that if you're not in the same vibrational frequency with them, you're not going to hear them and they're not going to hear you. Haven't you noticed that? Mm-hmm. Isn't that why you cluster together in the way you do? If you're in a really bad mood, do you call your high-flying friend? Or does your high-flying friend just annoy you? Don't you call the one that you're pretty sure will complain with you about that issue if you're in the mood to complain? And so this isn't just something that you've come to out of the blue. It's something that you've discovered through your experience of life. Law of attraction causes you to come together. And so again, we're on the subject of momentum. So the question that you are presenting and the way you presented it, we have heard it from many, is, Abraham, I believe that the momentum of negative emotion is a very powerful momentum. And I want to know how did that powerful negative momentum get started if we are, as you say, all pure positive energy? And we want to say, we really want you to hear this, that if you're looking at the big picture, that statement is absolutely not true. That this high-flying energy is the dominant vibration, and that this well-being, this love, this source energy is the dominant vibration, and that even though you can be born into this physical body and lose your way within it and suffer as a result of it, when you have your death experience, you will return to that high-flying energy. And as we said earlier, we just don't think you should have to croak in order to reclaim that high-flying energy. So here we are talking to you about how to reclaim it and what the easy way of reclaiming it is. First, you've got to accept that you are living in vibrational frequencies. You are living in vibrational realities. We want you to accept that you can control your frequency, which means you can control who you rendezvous with. And as you begin practicing this a little bit, and you regain your chronic vibrational place where you belong in this good feeling place, then your question doesn't come out like the question that your friend presented to you. Then you don't say, Abraham, why would I come forth into an experience only to be influenced out of vibrational alignment with who I am? Then you say something more like, Abraham, I see how I came into this physical experience and I explored contrast, and for a while I kind of got stuck in step one. But it was nice when I realized that I have the vibrational aptitude to come into alignment with who I am, and so now I enjoy exploring contrast from my chronically high-flying disc. Now that's a big statement, and it's a new statement, and it's what Esther wants us, and we're going along with it, to call step 4. In other words, once you have asked this question, how did I lose my alignment? And you've found the answer, how do I regain my alignment? And you've practiced regaining your alignment enough that even if you find yourself sitting in traffic, it doesn't cause you to lose your alignment. And because you haven't lost your alignment, you rarely sit in traffic, if ever. In other words, once you discover that feeling good does cause results that cause you to feel good, which causes results that cause you to feel good. But can you feel how we're sort of trying to guide you away from needing a good experience to observe in order to feel good? We want you to get hold of this. We want you to feel good, which creates the experience that causes you to feel good, rather than need the experience to feel good before you feel good. Because if you need the experience to feel good before you feel good, which means you're not in an experience of feeling good, now you're in a vibrational place where the experience that makes you feel good can't come, and now that's the answer to your question, you see. So you came feeling good. How did we lose our way of feeling good? Because you knew step 1, step 2, step 3. You knew that you needed the contrast in order to cause expansion. You just sort of got lost in the step 1 process because you were willing to set aside the way you feel, you see. When someone gets in your face and explains to you your inappropriateness, doesn't it feel awful? And if they do it often enough, and you feel awful enough, often enough, you lose your connection with who you really are, and you begin to believe what they're saying about you. And when you believe what they're saying about you, and what they're saying about you is that you're inappropriate in some way, a belief is just a thought you keep thinking. So now you got something pretty strong going on momentum-wise. So that was a long answer, but it's a big question. You can control the way you feel, but you can't control the way you feel in the middle of a thought that has a lot of momentum. So you got to catch it when the momentum is slight, perpetuate the good feeling momentum, do it and do it and do it and do it until you're stable on your high-flying disc, and then you'll say, I love coming into this experience, and I love mixing it up with everybody, and I love knowing that there are all these different vibrational places that people can be, and I love knowing that those people in all those different vibrational places doesn't have anything to do with me, only my vibrational placement has to do with me, and I have control over that. So I'm no longer now needing to sort behavior and results and manifestations into good piles and bad piles. It's too late once you start doing that. This is a really good thing, and this is a really bad thing, you say. And we say, that while that comparison can help you in deciding what you want, sorting results into piles and then having objective judgment about the piles causes you to have sloppy energy all over the place, causes your point of attraction to attract good things and bad things, things wanted and things unwanted, which makes you feel out of control, which then leads you to this place. Why would I come into an environment where I'm not in control of the way I feel? And we say, you didn't come into an environment where you're not in control of the way you feel. You just haven't exercised your ability to feel the way you want to feel because somebody else convinced you that what they feel is more important than what you feel. That's the crux of it. And you got to feel really bad sometimes before you come to the conclusion, hey, nobody else is going to cause this to lift off of me. I must find a way of feeling good. It's the direction of my thought. And when you get hold of that, when you start directing your thought and you start directing it into that high-flying vibration, and then you start making the association between that chronic thought and the wonderful things that are coming to you, and you start living in this attitude of clarity where you're inspired so much of the time, you begin to then say, oh, this was such a good plan. I was source energy, and I came into an environment of contrast because expansion is born out of contrast, and it was so way, way, way worth it. Poop to value, way, 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 way worth it. So worth it. I explored the contrast, and I know what I didn't want, and I knew what I did want, and I lined up with what I did want, and then that manifested, which gave me a new platform from which to desire again. Being in this physical body, in conscious alignment with source energy. We haven't gotten to that point yet. We haven't even explained that to you. You are here in this physical body, but there are a whole lot of you who have been here who now aren't. A whole lot of beings who have been physically focused, who have come to really know about this time-space reality and care about it, who are invested in the expansion of all of this because we are all in this together, who are non-physically focused, who know where you stand and where you want to be, and know exactly the path of least resistance to help you get from where you stand to where you want to be on every subject in the world, who are constantly offering vibrational impulses to you that if you're on this disc of fear, you're not getting the impulse. If you're on this disc of overwhelmment, you're not getting the impulse. If you're on this disc of frustration, you're not getting the impulse. If you're on this disc of hope, maybe you're getting some hints every now and again. If you're on this disc of feeling pretty good, if you're frisky, tuned in, tapped in, turned on, if you're feeling good, if you're feeling joyful, if you're feeling love and passion and appreciation, if you're there, then you're getting the hint, you're getting the impulse, and you're following the impulse, and it's leading to good thing after good thing after good thing after good thing, you see. Not one of you said, I'll go forth and prove my worthiness by disconnecting from all things and just making it on my own. Every one of you said, I'll go forth and I'll tune myself to the frequency of those who care about me and know who I am and know where I'm going and know where I am in relationship to where I'm going, who will help me to feel this magnificent path that I am upon, you see. Oh, what a good question this is. Abraham, how did we lose our way? You stopped caring about how you felt. Well, why would I stop caring about how I felt? Because you cared about how mom felt more than you cared about how you felt. You cared about what the peers felt more than you cared about you. You cared more about what the squeaking wheel felt rather than what you felt. You cannot feel less than love and ever feel good. And yet how often do you criticize that or that or that or that or that? Because somebody else is already there and they've influenced you to be there, and it feels awful to be there, but you don't know how to get out of being there. And we say, wake up in the morning and don't be there for a while. And pretty soon you'll discover how odd it feels to be in an attitude of criticism about anything, because it's counterproductive. To spend any time talking or thinking or focusing on what you do not want just practices the vibration of what you do not want and brings more of it to you, gives you more detail, you see, about what you do not want. That was really good. You got that? You get that, don't you?